I gotta unmute us. We are Aaron Dill-less this evening, everyone. Hello. Welcome to Swamp Talk. Shithouse, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Shithouse, can you hear me? Oh, I don't know. I mean, I don't have the best singing voice now, do I?
That's okay. I don't either.
Hello, everyone in the chat. We got Lisa and Will, and look at this. We got Terrence in here as well. So we've got a couple people. I might need to close the windows up. It's amazing. I don't know if you can hear the traffic. It is amazing the traffic that runs down this street.
I was going to say that is a little loud.
Yeah. I mean, okay, we're not right on the road, but I mean, we're a lot closer than. That's probably be a little bit better. So we got to place a bet. How many wee woos are we going to hear tonight?
Is it pretty bad out there?
It's a main road, dude, and it gets. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, help it. Hey, everyone, welcome to Swamp Talk. We got Shithouse in the house tonight. Myself. We got Aaron Dill in the chat as he's driving to Alabama with the family. Yeah, I kind of exchanged. We exchanged Detroit for Charleston, South Carolina. Really, I mean, we're on the outside of it. We're probably about an hour away from downtown Charleston, but there's a lot of activity going on around here.
Yeah.
What is that? That live PD show?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Every night. One of the sheriffs is sitting there behind the desk and everything.
Yeah, so where we moved out in Mount Clemens, I didn't realize, like, I kept thinking, I was like, we're semi close to the hospital. I'm like, that must be why I hear the sirens and shit all the time. And then I discovered I was out here for 2 years before I discovered that I am like a quarter mile from the Mount Clemens firehouse. And I was like, that makes sense why I hear them so often, because they're coming out of there every time.
Yeah, this dude, I haven't seen the car yet, but it just sounded like something out of RoboCop, like some fucking Tesla cop car just zipping by. I mean, it zipped by, but the sirens were
sound weird.
Dude, it was like totally like I don't know where they get okay, this is how bad it is. You know that live PD? The South Carolina cop was like, hey, I had the wee woos on and everything. This is a cop telling the lady behind the steering wheel. Anyways, I laughed my ass off. But dude, I don't know where they get that noise from, but this had like a total AI digital. It had like a total digital sound to it. It was the weirdest sounding. We're gonna at least, you know what? It's been quiet all day. We might not hear any. We're just going to say that everybody's happy, everybody's healthy, things are going great, and we're not going to hear a single one tonight.
You want to know something fucking funny? I always tease the wife about being like ghetto adjacent, because we're not really anywhere near the ghetto, but compared to where I used to live, it's quite a bit more ghetto. But
you were in the boonies, buddy. But then if you went just a little bit farther, you had this awesome town for partying, man. Algonac, dude. Oh my god.
Yeah. But tonight, somebody got shot at Partridge. So yeah. So I was laughing with Cindy, and I was like, God, it's so good that we don't live anywhere near the ghetto. And I just started laughing, and I was like, that it's a lot of stuff because there ain't no more. For those that don't know, in Michigan, the metro Detroit area, outside of Detroit, Sterling Heights area, we have a mall called Partridge Creek that is an outdoor mall. So it's like a very like dog friendly place and stuff like that.
It's a
And
cool place. It is a cool
yeah,
place to hang out. It definitely
it
is a cool
is
place to walk.
mostly it's not Somerset Mall expensive stores, but they are up there. They're not like you're not going to be able to go buy a sword at this mall like you could back in the day. Like this is, there's a Gucci store and shit like that in this mall. So it is definitely in a nicer area. And yeah, lately they've been having issues left and right of people like trying to walk into a store, fill a whole bag, and run out. Tonight somebody got shot in the stomach there. So I was like, well, that's super cool. I'm not gonna go to that mall without a gun now.
It's that's fucked up shit houses. I don't go anywhere without mine now. I don't
Yeah,
go any goddamn where without mine. But anyhow, it's crime is not necessarily just because you live out in the country and shit. Clarification, everyone. Just because you live out in the country and shit doesn't mean you're completely safe, because all it takes is a good couple of criminals with a good car.
yeah.
Shit happens. But I definitely going from Pinckney, Michigan, really quiet place. We barely heard the trucks unless it was, the time at the time of day that the trucks were driving by. But no, here there's a considerable amount more traffic. But then again, I think there's probably 100% more population than there was there. I mean,
oh, I'm sure. Charleston versus Pinckney. I doubt Pinckney has 2,000 people in it.
it's a quiet town. It's a quiet town. And then coming out here, you know what though? It is the people that I have working for me here, and stuff. It's nice.
Yeah, it is. It is less than 2,000 people.
Is it really?
At least their last estimate's about 1,900 people. So yeah.
Now don't get me wrong. It was the quiet little town. It was a great town. But yeah, it was small compared to this. What is Moncks Corner? What's Moncks Corner's population? Moncks Corner, South Carolina. You can look it up faster than I could. I'm sure.
Let's see here.
Moncks Corner, Monks.
Moncks Corner is about just over 14,000 people. So,
and that's just okay. That's just a small suburb. Only when there's a big game. That's good, Will. I like that. It's a small suburb of Charleston, because there's Charleston, there's North Charleston, there's Somerville, there's Goose Creek. I'm at like the total opposite end of Goose Creek, to where it's like I go on the other side of the road and it's a different town, Somerville. So, I mean, but dude, the subdivisions around here, if you do a Google map of the area, it's nuts.
Yeah, that's bigger than, well, okay, other than Mount Clemens. Yeah, 14,000 is bigger than any town I've ever, lived in. I don't know what Mount Clemens has, but it's probably up there.
It is probably up there. You know what? I mean, Metro Detroit area was pretty packed. It was amazing the amount of people you would see if you really like an event.
Oh my God. About 15,000. So yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like, oh, we're nothing. It's nothing. Yeah. It's just a very pinch little sprinkle of salt into what this whole. I'm getting all,
Yeah, I grew up in a town of 3,000. Like it's been very, very different living out here. I mean, for where I like really grew up, you could. I mean, the nearest neighbor.
You could shoot guns in your back. You could shoot guns in your backyard and not get in trouble. Yeah. Nobody would even know.
Yeah. I walked to my nail box more than once, just buck naked because I was still a little shit hammered in the morning to get the mail and wasn't even worried about somebody seeing me. So
No,
yeah,
no, you wouldn't do that. You
yeah,
wouldn't do that at all.
yeah. I mean, it's very different being out here. I will say this: city water and the convenience of like if I want anything, I know it's 10 minutes from where I'm at. That's the, I'm sure at some point we're gonna retire up north, but it's gonna be very hard to walk away from this. Like
It's
it's
it was a definite switch going from East Point, East Detroit, and having party stores at either corner. I was able to blacklist a party store. That's how many party stores there were around. It's like, oh well, I'm never walking into that one again because
yep,
there's those many more around. Oh, matter of fact, I
yeah,
think I did that with two. Because once Dairy Mart started doing, you had to do your own bottle returns on the machine that they never touched. I kind of get why they did it. One of the girls got cut by glass, but then again, bitch, don't be an idiot. Anyways, sorry,
she's
apologize.
probably tried to turn around and sue, and they were like, "Oh, we can't have that."
And that's
Yeah,
exactly what it was. They got an automated
yeah,
machine outside. So I stopped going to the store because I just didn't want to deal with that. They were notorious for not keeping it going. I did it once or twice, but screw it. There were so many party stores. Then I went to hell. Well, there were gas stations, but you couldn't really get everything. So you had
yeah.
less. Now I'm to a point where it's like, I'm trying to figure out what's where because the traffic, if it's rush hour, fuck you. The lights are like Florida lights. There's 3 turn lanes with lights. Okay? And they're long as fuck. There's so many people out here. They built the subdivisions and they just went down this whole road and put flags up. I really hope it's because they're expanding the road because it's a 2-lane road. You hear this traffic, it's a 2-lane road. And when people turn into the paintball field, that traffic stops. It's nuts. It's
Yeah.
nuts. But there's a lot of military bases around. There's a lot of people around, so that gets us a lot of return customers and a lot of people playing. So
Yeah, because
that's the
there's
nice thing about
is it
that. Oh,
a
dude,
army or a marine base that's not that
there's
far from there?
every single freaking base has been here freaking with 200 players at once. Okay, I'm exaggerating. It's 100 players at once. Actually, is what the number is because that's it. That's all we can handle. Um, but and it's just nuts the amount of people. Then there's Boeing, who's doing a huge thing. Google is literally. I hate to say it this way, but I could launch something from my property onto Google. That definitely could happen. And it's Google. Why is there so much security? Man, there is freaking security, dude. It looks like a military base when you drive by
Oh,
the entrance and stuff.
well, there's so much money involved in it, and yeah, so
Yeah.
much proprietary anything and everything.
And they're doing a big expansion. I guess it's a server farm. I guess it's really a server
Oh,
farm
okay.
down here. So I mean,
Yeah,
and
they
then they're
can't
doing
afford
some
for
huge
anything to go
expansion.
wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
But
just if even if it's just servers running their ads and stuff like that. Weed stores every 3 doors, and every fourth is a sporting goods store with beer. Nice.
I have to like that. I miss that about Michigan. I really do. Not being able to just take off to the dispo whenever I want to.
Oh, holy shit, Bill. Like I was gonna say, if you're looking for a town with dispensaries, from my house within a 5 minute drive, I think I'm at like 7 now.
Well,
It
on your way,
is
I
it
kid
is
you not.
insane. They just opened another one. I want to say 3 minute walk from my
That's
house.
why the prices are so cheap in Michigan, though. And I really wish for the people, I mean, for the business, they got to work their ass off to make money. But for the people, It's only right to have it that way in every state. Missouri, misery, man. Jesus Christ. The prices they get for their product is ridiculous, but that's because they limited the licenses that went out. And okay, you might want to say, well, that's bad for business, but honest to God, it's good for the person. And in whole, if you're a good business and you can work yourself right, you can make a profit and keep running and take care of the people. So it's just for something I can get in Michigan for 16 for $100, I can only get one of for the same price in another state is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And
Although we
the
did
stuff
just
in
get hit
Michigan is
with
better.
what did they pass? I want to say it was like a 24% tax. Because Whitmer's like, I'll use the money to fix the roads, even
Yeah,
though the
right.
lottery was
Yeah,
supposed to fix
yeah,
the roads. There
yeah.
was
The
a couple
gas
of
tax.
millages, the
Yeah.
gas tax. Yeah.
Don't
Now it's
don't
the weed that's gonna fix the roads.
don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna say, boom. That's why your local municipality should allow marijuana dispensaries, because you get to okay, there's a state tax. I don't know if there's a federal tax, but
I
because
don't
it's
think
not
so yet.
federally legal, I'm sure they're probably still getting their money. So you got a federal tax, let's say, you got a state tax, you got a local tax. So you could do a county tax or a city tax on all of that. Get this. This is what's really crazy. Off the subject. Business license in South Carolina is per county, not per state.
Nice.
Fucking they watch what comes in to their municipality and goes back out. Do they need to be a recreational state? Yes, but that's my personal biased opinion, but it only helps the customer if there's enough stores that it would suck to be my store that lost out because I didn't run it right. But there's other stores that would know how to run it right. And that's, I don't know. What is that? That's not communism. That's not socialism. That's freaking goddamn American way. What is that? What do they call that?
Capitalism.
Capitalism, damn it.
Capitalism.
Ah. Fucking great shit. I'm enjoying my swamp water in my Bourbon Creek Ironworks mug here. Do we know what Bourbon Creek
Sarch's
Ironworks
thing.
is?
Yes.
Yeah, you probably got a nice product of his laying around there, don't you? I think you got one.
I have a knife. I'm trying to think. I don't think it's
Paul.
in
When
here.
Paulie got married, he got you guys hooked up with some nice stuff. Damascus steel. Sarge does some awesome stuff. He's out in Colorado. Epic paintball player. Aaron's Army. God love him. He's got a young son.
I don't think he's played paintball in a while. Used to.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in a while. It's been a while since I took a cross country trip, but I think since I moved into the bus. I haven't gone cross country since I moved into the bus.
I was gonna say the last time you went cross country was sometime. I guess your trip down there, but like really cross country.
Yeah. So going across, okay. The Rocky Mountains scare the living piss out of me every time I go over them, like the main part. And it's not so much as the going up, because everybody's going slow. Yeah. It's the going down. I've glazed up the brake vans twice going to Super Game or whatever. You were asking what that footage was for, Shithouse. I don't know if you saw it, but that was from Super Game Oregon.
Okay.
That was from Sniper's Den paintball, which I plan on making it to hopefully this year. And yeah, the bus is probably going to be there. So we'll see what happens. I mean, I have a very nice place to leave the bus now. The thoughts are is actually possibly putting the bus up for sale and starting a new project because I have a location that I can do that at. But I need to get the van straightened out. The van is about to push 100 or 300,000 miles. 278,000 miles, I think, on that baby, and I got it with 13,000 miles on it.
That's on the Stormtrooper now. How much did the red van have on it before it was done?
Oh, dude, I really couldn't tell you how much the red van had on it. Oh my lord. At a certain point in time in that van's life, it had so many miles on it that I was trying to kill it. I was legit wondering how long can this truck go without oil? Longer than I could. I
Yeah.
put oil in it. That thing made the trip up to Lewiston, Michigan and back. I couldn't every weekend for years on end. And then shit. The Death Star. Now that was the black one with the doors on both sides.
Yeah.
That one was epic. I love that van. It came about on the weirdest way, but like a Newport, I think, hit it going to super or not going to paintball explosion one early morning with fucking A Train and Kay and Sarah and Justin, and it was icy and the
Yeah, that was when like did a semi or something like you kind of
dude.
rubbed it or something.
I was bounced around like fucking crazy on that ride. So yeah, literally, yeah. We It was at a spot on 94 that is notorious, but as the guy came on with the Newport, you could see him just starting to spin out, and it was like, hold the fuck on. And both the girls woke up. Literally, they would have been better off if I wouldn't have yelled, because they woke up and lifted their heads up, and as they lifted their heads up, impact happened. So Kay got a freaking badass bloody nose. I think Sarah had a huge goose egg for a while. It was fucked up. It was not a fun trip. So we got that all taken care of, and then we got the Stormtrooper. We went from the Death Star, which was on all black, to the Stormtrooper, which was white, and it only had a door on one side. But God love John Miller, hooked me up. It was a guy, actually one of the guys I was doing a lot of work for at the time, and he happened to have he had a van, and he's like, "Here, take it." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, take it." And the price was epic, and if this thing died tomorrow, it'd probably 300,000 times paid over itself
Yeah.
for what it's done. But it's been, Jesus, how many times did I take that thing to Super Game? Holy crap.
Maybe we did some traveling to that. I remember driving the thing the one time I want to say we were coming back from Chicago, and I started falling asleep at the wheel, and I was like, oh, this is not cool. I got a whole car full of people, and I'm just like, like I remember I rolled the window down. I had some music playing. I was trying to keep you awake to talk to me. I was like, oh,
Those
yeah,
those games at Paintball Explosion. So we go Friday night, which was great. So Saturday morning, we're all ready to play and all chipper and great. And then we'd hang out with TJ was the greatest host. And we'd have a nice evening, and then we go back, we sleep, we wake up happy as complete, play our asses off Sunday, and oh shit, everybody's got to be back to work Monday morning.
yeah, and it's what is it like 5.5 hour drive back from Chicago?
At least.
Yeah.
I mean, if you
And
can
then the time
go,
technically jumps an hour. So like if you leave at 6 p.m., by the time you get home, it's 1 in the morning.
yeah, yeah.
That's just our drive back to Detroit. And then if people gotta go from your house after that,
You
that
were
was
lucky. You were lucky if you were between East Point and Paintball Explosion in Dundee, Illinois, because we dropped you off on the way if it was
yeah.
decent enough, or we dropped you off at your car that was only, I got a 10-minute drive, motherfucker. We still got 2 hours. Michigan, when
Yeah.
you drive across, like slit the wrist from Detroit across, is the longest motherfucking
Just
drive.
boring as shit drive. I remember the one year we I want to say it was me, Paul. I want to say Dan was with us and Anthony, but we came back to college.
I was just gonna say. So we did a
So we had
super
to go
game.
up and then come back to Detroit. That's when the bus broke down.
That was the year of the drive shaft where we duct
Yep.
taped the drive shaft together.
And I remember we had just gone kind of past Detroit, because I want to say we just dropped Dan off, and we had got maybe 10 minutes out of Detroit. Then I saw that, and I was like, guys, I hate to tell you, but we're not going home yet. And they were like, what? And I was like, bus is having issues. We got to go help, because we're still close enough that like if we were already home, I'd be like, oh, but we had just left Detroit. I want to say we were like 5-10 minutes up the road from where the bus was broken down. I was like, guys, we got to turn around. And I was like, I'm so fucking tired, but dealing with the bus woke me back up. And as soon as I got home, I crashed so fucking hard.
So what happened is I had a location, Lynch Road, Mount Elliott, downtown Detroit, downtown Detroit. Maybe even a little worse than downtown Detroit. That I could dump the bus, and we were at Living Legends like 9, maybe. It was a CPX game, so it was either 8 or 9, and no, it was 9 or 10, right? I'm sorry. God damn, I've been involved in so many.
It wasn't the
8.
It wasn't the last one there,
right? Okay, yeah, I'm looking at the post board right now. I won 8, so it was probably Living Legends 9 that we were driving back, and I went and dumped the tank, and then I drove over the train tracks, and I drove over them slow. I snapped the fucking goddamn drive shaft at Lynch Road in Mount Elliott. So we had some white duct tape from medic bands.
Was it drive shaft or was it the U joint? I'm trying to remember.
U joint.
I was gonna say it's the U joint, because we were able to gorilla tape that motherfucker back together.
So the duct tape held for 5 miles. The gorilla tape, as long as I didn't go above 30 fucking miles an hour, held the goddamn drive shaft together. But I did snap the drive shaft all the fuck by the time I did get home. It had to be replaced. But I have like a 5-section drive shaft, so it was like 2 sections I got replaced. But in the long term, when the U joints broke and came back up and hit the differential on the rear end, I started leaking rear end fluid, rear end odor. Did not know. Found out on a trip to EMR. Yeah, that was interesting. So I actually, at that point, when I learned about the leak at EMR, I just fed the leak. I just made sure I filled it up. We pulled over at some Napa Auto Parts and some Hilltown. And I literally filled, the guys checked the bus out from the Napa Auto Parts, and I filled that rear end diff up. And we drove our whole way, turned around and came back, and I filled the diff up again. It was interesting, even though it wasn't probably my worst trip in the bus. We did. I see Lisa Weber showing up on here. I don't think she was involved in this trip to Avid, but I blew a brake line on the way to Avid one time.
Oh, that's gotta be scary with the fucking bus. It's one thing when it's a 2,500-pound vehicle, and you're like, oh, okay, I'll host.
I'm a 10.5-ton vehicle.
Yeah.
So I don't know why. I almost went the route of getting it repaired and everything. I don't know why, but I said, fuck it. And I pinched it, and then put a goddamn pair of vice grips on it. Drove the rest of the way to Avid, turned around, drove all the way back to Detroit. No problems. The brakes actually worked better.
Really?
Brakes actually worked better. So I got it home. I'm sorry, shithouse. I kid you not. You probably drove on it while the brakes were broken. I think I drove on it for a year while the brakes were broken because it drove better.
Fine.
And then I said,
I was never worried driving in the bus, because I think I only drove it for a short bit one time over the years. But I was only ever worried about making turns and like running into somebody. I never worried about the safety because it's a bus. It's gonna cut through whatever it hits. Like, sorry if
Train,
you're the guy in front of me, but I'm gonna win.
yeah, a
Yeah,
train is the problem. A train or maybe a loaded semi truck are your
yeah,
only enemies. Other than that, there ain't
yeah,
nothing. Oh, look at that dually.
yeah.
The one we just went over.
Yeah, that's why like anytime I hear like where they had like an accident with the school bus and kids actually got hurt or killed, I'm like, they must have been just because that thing it's built like, I mean, there's a reason they build them the way they do. It's hauling arguably the most precious cargo on the planet, and they'll roll over in a ditch and a kid will get a bump on his head, but they'll be like, yeah, they just flipped it back over and drove it, you know. The
It's
amount of
it.
times that I
Yeah,
watched like a school bus just wreck something's shit, and I'm like, yeah, it's basically a trained car with kids on it.
yeah, yeah. It's interesting. You know what though, dude? So a lot of places I drive, people respect it. Other places like the Bronx, it's like motherfucker, get your car out from underneath my fucking car. I don't care if it's that low. I'm gonna run this bitch the fuck over.
Yeah,
Delivering a time trials, we ended up in the Bronx underneath the fucking railways. Oh, it was so interesting. I had a 12-foot trailer with the time trials on the back of the bus too. They wanted to
yeah.
go
So it's
under the
that much
bus.
longer. Yeah,
They wanted to go under the bus. I, honest to God, it's like I'm like yelling at this guy, get the fuck out of the way. I can't move any farther forward. I finally moved forward and he backed up and the guy behind him backed up because I was driving over him.
yeah. There's certain places that's always been one thing I've kind of thought about over the years. Like when we would drive somewhere to play paintball is what, like, you have to know the area you're going to. Like, is it safe for me to just take whatever vehicle, or do I need to take something more secure? Is it a place where I can just leave my shit out at night, or you know, like, we've been lucky enough, most of the places we've ever played, I mean, I almost would feel safe leaving my gear bag under under the pop up at night, you know. But there are definitely places where it's, you're not
Yeah, we've
so
been
lucky for
blessed.
that.
We've been blessed that we've been able to go to certain places and still be taken care of very
Yeah.
well. But yeah, stuff disappears a lot. It's crazy how much stuff disappears.
I
It's
will I will say, which I was waiting for, because every year two things happen when Cup comes around. I get sent all the pictures of all the gear that comes out that's brown, um, which I really didn't see. Nobody sent me anything this year. Um,
there was the yeah, okay, go ahead. Yeah, I'm sorry.
it- um, and then the other thing that I see is, this is so and so person got caught trying to steal at Cup, and this is us basically like kicking his ass, or this is, like, there's a post like, hey,
I didn't
whatever
see all
set of
those.
guns went missing, and I didn't see a thing about it.
I didn't see those.
So
Masks, man. Okay, so here we'll wind up into the World Cup because Lisa's asking about the cool new gear at Cup. Elevate. They're here. I'm sorry, that's right.
yes,
Aaron's not here to show this stuff. But did you see it? Okay, so Elevate products. They were there. They had booth number 4. I thought it was a very nice booth right across the street from the Planet Eclipse tent. Walk down the aisle, left side, booth number 4, Elevate products. The tanks, man. Oh, I love. He's got a flat black. Let's see here. I'm sorry, guys. You got to give me a minute because I'm not so awesome with this, but flat black with this green. It is just it is gorgeous. It is gorgeous. What's this one? At orange. I didn't see a brown one, but I'm not sure that Josh would be against a brown one coming out.
yeah.
They're definitely
I've
definitely a cool setup.
I have only ever seen one like actual brown, like, there, because a lot of places be like, we have brown. It's like, no, you have tan, you have beige. Like, brown's very different. The only one I've ever seen actually happened to be a custom one that was made that I won conveniently, I believe, at the game when where we became Mad Frog Militia was at the turkey shoot in Port Huron. It was a crossfire tank. And I remember laughing because it was one of their raffle prizes. I bought tickets because there was a couple guns. There was some cool shit in that
Yeah,
raffle.
yeah.
And they kept calling uh the brown tank one. And I remember looking at Paul going, yeah, somebody's fucking like missing out. And he's like, asshole, it's you. And I was like, oh, it is me. Oh shit. And I was like, oh, this is perfect. This is perfect. Uh
Yeah, you got the
because
only
that
Mad
was
Frog Militia jersey with a brown frog, a shithouse
yes.
frog. Oh God, man. So Cup, man. Okay, to be honest, I spent a day there. I had a very nice time. We can talk about this after the Cup. I had a very nice time with the wife and where we stayed and everything. But
Yep.
Thursday we were at Cup. Had an awesome time walking around. I spent a little extra time in the Planet Eclipse booth than I ever really had. It can be an expensive place to visit. Oh my lord.
It's
Uh
quality.
it's
I mean,
dude,
yeah.
the EMF, the freaking sniper rifles. I'm just looking at them going, oh yeah, no, I can't. And then I brought Shelly and showed her the what is it, the $1,400 gold EMF, all
Yeah,
gold. Like
yeah, that new one. It's pretty.
it was something else. She's like, yeah, no. I'm like, I just got rid of half a semi of paintball stuff. All right.
Yeah.
Um, so, but oh God, I did that. And then what did I gain? I gained a pro shop. I, Shithouse, I'm having fun with the pro shop. I'm
Yeah.
usually the guy from outside on the field, but it's been very interesting here with the pro shop. Just the products, making sure the products are coming in that people want, and then watching them disappear as fast as you get them in. It's been pretty cool. It's definitely been pretty cool. Uh, the airsoft situation too, we can talk about here in a minute. That's been an interesting, because remember our T-shirt, one of my most favorite T-shirts.
Yes. Yeah. I still have that thing somewhere.
Yeah, I it pops up when I pull up the program. It's the first one that pops up because it's under airsoft. We Shithouse had a T-shirt he asked me to make for him. Is I'd rather clap. I'd
Shit in
rather
my hands and clap than play airsoft.
listen. Yeah. I love it. I'm actually probably going to make a couple and put them in here in the pro shop just to see what the hell happens. But yeah.
Still
Uh,
to this day, I've never played a game of airsoft. Yeah.
See, I'm buying the shit left and right. I think I'm going to have to at least. Okay, so the other day, the video will be coming out shortly. The other day, I took a bunch of we got the exploding Enola Gay BB grenades in.
Ooh.
Yes. So I ordered 2 cases and got 2 cases.
How many BBs do they have in them? Like, is it a lot or is it?
Decent amount when you can shake it and hear them. Okay. And they're not the small ones either. They're decent size. So I took this exploding grenade and threw it in the middle of I'm like, hey guys, you want to go check this out? They're like, yeah. I'm like, we're going to stand in a circle. All right. And they're like, yes. That's actually something I like about one other thing I like about being here is the people I have working for me, the kids, everybody's a goddamn kid. Shithouse, you're a kid to me. Anyways, they're great. They love the fact that I like getting involved in this stupid shit that we do. Love the old owners, but they kind of stepped back and just let the zoo run everything. So being involved with them and doing things on a daily basis, we all stood in a circle. I pulled that BB grenade and threw it on the ground, and you know what happened? I got hit with half the fucking BBs.
Nice.
It was, I have to say, it's probably like the exploding paint grenade. It maybe sometimes it's cool, but I think the boom is the off factor.
Yeah,
Um,
it's your I mean, the amount of times that I
Hey,
quote
remember?
unquote killed a player with the paint
Wait a minute.
grenades.
Wait a minute. Remember at the castle
Yeah, when they
and me
told us
just
we couldn't throw them anymore.
I'm just holding there. I'm sitting there with my jersey like this with how many? I don't even know. They gave us Enola Gay was awesome sponsor at the time, and they gave us like 2 cases of the exploding grenades because they were brand new. So I ran out there. I'm holding them. Shithouse is just lofting them over the
Just pulling
wall.
them, boop, pull them, boop, until that one bounced back over at us.
Yeah,
But
I got shot. Boom, I'm dead. I dropped my fucking jersey. All of them were on the ground. I ran off the field, filled my jersey back up
yeah,
again.
that was the only time I've ever had a ref be like, "I know they're allowed, but I need you to stop." Like that was because there were a couple of guys. So for those who don't know, at Hell Survivors on one of their hills, they have a castle that's a 2-story, and it is you can't hit people on the second story unless they stand up. The way it's kind of designed, there is no like little ways to shoot up the stairs. You literally they either have to stand up or you have to go up the stairs and get them. And which can be very hard because if you get people watching the stairwell, it's very hard to get up in there to get those people. So with those paint grenades, it's kind of like an easy out where you can just kind of chuck them from the bottom floor up over the wall. And there was a couple of guys up there that like we just couldn't seem to hit and get out. And so we started lobbing the grenades up there because we had, like Bill was saying, was a
2 cases.
disgusting amount of them. And we were throwing one probably every 20 seconds. And by like the 10th or 15th one, the ref came to the window and was like, "You guys, you have to stop." And we were like, "Hey, these are absolutely allowed." And he's like, "Yes, but I need you to." He's like, "I can't hear anything." Because I don't know if we have ever. I don't think we ever fired one off on the show. We had that one video where we threw it in the swamp and stuff like
Yeah.
that, but they're loud. And in an
And
open space,
where we
they're
were throwing it, I guess every time it was kind of getting funneled down in a certain location where it
yeah.
amplified the
Yeah,
noise.
because it's a plywood building that's enclosed and stuff like that, that sound kind of reverberates in there. And, 1 to 2, no big deal. 15, 20, yeah, it starts to be
Dude, we had to throw, I think we had to throw probably 20 to 30 over that wall before Mike
oh,
Myers came
yeah.
around the wall and was like, please stop. Please just
Yeah.
stop.
Yeah,
Just
that
stop.
was the second time I got asked to please stop with a present that Enola K gave us because that Legacy, that's what it's called, right? Legacy Sports, yeah. When
You give
CPX
us
had
2 cases
Legends,
of red smoke grenades. God damn it.
we threw so. I remember going out there and I had 8 in my pockets, which is more than I've ever thrown in an event. And it's when I was throwing in a 30-minute final battle, and I remember it got to the point where they were like, "Yo." I think that was when they started the no smoke during final battle thing for CPX for a while because they were like, we like it's a safety concern because there's so much we can't see if somebody goes down, loses a mask.
We threw 2 cases of red smoke over the mountain at Legacy, over the hill at Legacy. Legit, I stood there, and as people came back on the field, I just kept going down like this and handing out smoke. Boom, handing out more. Boom, handing out more. It was, yeah, it was the
It was
point where,
insane.
yeah, it was badass.
I don't know if there was any usable footage of that final battle because there was enough smoke that yeah, that was so fucking crazy. That
It was
was
it was ridiculous.
I remember I remember because I don't have asthma, but I remember like choking on the smoke at one point. And then I like it kind of hit me. I was like, "Fuck! I hope nobody out here's got really bad asthma and didn't remember an inhaler because it was
You know what though? That fucking weekend sucked. The weather was such a
oh
fucking
garbage.
bitch.
That raid was something else, man. That was
Thank God I had the bus. Jimmy, 6 people ahead of him, Churchill, showed up a weekend after, and him and I spent I'm going to say 8 hours scraping the mud out of the floor, off the floor of the bus. It was that bad. It
Yeah,
was, it was
was.
the people intense. I was XO for that game, and we lost half our team because their tents got flooded by mud.
Yeah. Yeah, it was bad. I remember there was like a tent floating outside the bus. I've never seen it was no fault of the field either. It was
No, it was just,
just
it was,
disgusting amounts of like downpour rain, which they're admittedly around shit when CPX was still at Chicago. There were a couple of events where I remember we had like a good rain or there was the wild wind every once in a while, but
the
nothing
trash
like that.
nados, but the trash nados. But the thing with CPX is I think the problem with Legacy is it was a fresh clear. Like they had just cleared it all for the event because they were getting geared up to do an event that size. So they cleared all that up. And I think that's what aided the mudslides. It was because, oh, we just cleared this whole area. Now CPX had been cleared for fucking God knows how long. I mean, have you ever been? Were you ever at the original Challenge Park Extremes when they had the bike ramps and stuff? Still,
No.
fucking place was pretty crazy. It was cool. It was cool. They had a cool place going. Oh damn! Yeah, check this out. Which year was that, Lisa? That was was that the Living Legends Legacy that you sold those many meat sticks? I mean, those meat sticks rocked. Those meat sticks rocked. And then
They
what
were
is this
so
about?
good.
What is this about? What's up, y'all? Enola Gay smoke and grenades are too much. Yes, totally yes. I mean, the smoke is ridiculous. We get access to some special smoke products, which is fucking unreal. Some of these grenades that we can get, but the standard ones, poof. The exploding paint grenades, I can't keep them on the shelves here. Once it's actually better for me if nobody's buying them, I go out and just throw one over the net and it explodes and everybody asks what it was, boom, the whole shelf is empty.
Yeah, it's I haven't seen somebody use one of those in some time. It's been a little while since I seen somebody use one. The smoke, yes, but
I'm
yeah,
gonna
they
have to
were
say, I'm gonna have to say we
like
use the grenades more. We use the exploding grenades more here than we do the smoke lately.
I would, you know, back in the day, I think the only ones really around
Back in the
were
day,
yeah was Sport Smoke, which Sport Smoke wasn't bad,
no,
but
no,
Enola
no.
Gay is a whole
They've got the
different product.
colors. Enola Gay's
Oh,
got the covers. So Sports Smoke was originally a their their first start in the business is literally something that I did, shithouse. They made a smoke grenade to check plumbing.
really?
So you
To check
drop,
for leaks?
yeah, you drop the smoke grenade in, and the smoke goes up the vent, and you if there's any leaks anywhere on the floors above, the smoke would come out of the pipes instead of just going straight out the vent. But I have that really cool remote control for the sports smokes, so I can set 4 of them on the field and just hit 4 different buttons and make them explode. I haven't been able to get the Enola Gay ones that are electronic started. Now, Enola Gay came out to Flag Raiders, talk about back in the day, and they did a whole display and it was all automated. But I have never been, oh, dude, I can buy cans this big with pop tops of smoke. I can't find the electric squib ignite Enola Gays because they're great. Scotty and Lisa are on the chat. Look at this. Scotty.
Ah, Scott, what's up, buddy?
talking to Lisa. So
Tell
thank you.
what,
Thank you,
eh,
everyone, for joining us tonight on Swamp Talk. I'll break in here for a second. Like and share the stream and all that fun shit. We're just having a good old time talking away. So what's up next?
so I was gonna say I have a story about Scotty. So I don't know. He probably doesn't remember this because he's been dealing with
He doesn't know.
paintballers for years. My very first of I think it was my first event, back when I used to play with a ridiculously oversized A5 that I put, I was one of those guys who bought an A5 and then put like $300-400 worth of improvements on it, which most of them only made the gun heavier. That's all they did. But I went out onto the field at Hell's, and at that time they had a couple little bridges that you'd run across, and some of them were metal. And it was my first time playing, but there was this little kid running in front of me, and it was his first time playing, and he didn't really get the whole just because you can see somebody doesn't mean you can hit them, because the markers only shoot a paintball so far. A lot of people don't realize that we have to get much closer than you would think to hit each other until the first strikes came around. And so he saw people running in at the opposite end of the field and was like, "Oh, it's red team." He dove down on the ground and laid across this bridge and started shooting. And I mean, he wasn't even getting a third of the way to them. But he did it while everybody was rushing in. So a bunch of us just went ass over tea kettle over top of this kid because he laid down in the path. And when he did, I came down. I busted my I forget what they used to call it, but what fed the paintballs from the hopper into the side of an A5. I forget what they used to call that thing.
Oh,
But it,
really?
yeah,
Oh, shit.
I hit so hard it busted the pins off on the side and broke it clear off my gun. And I was like,
They made them out of metal back then. Fuck.
well, so the pins, well, the pins that broke off were metal, but this was plastic, but
Right.
it busted all the shit because my whole body weight came down on it on this metal bridge, and I was pretty defeated at that point because I was like, I don't. At the time, I was like, I could barely afford the weekend. I definitely can't afford a replacement gun or whatever it might cost to fix this. And so I take it to Tippmann, and my gun's all busted to shit, and my elbow is open enough to not where it's like I can see completely inside, but where I needed some stitches. And I remember going there, and brought it to Scotty. Yeah, and I was like,
There you go.
Scotty, I was like,
She's telling you the part.
yeah, I was like, is there any way that we could salvage this so my weekend's not over? Because it was, I want to say, 10 minutes into start a game. Like we were coming on the field with him. And Scotty was like, "Hey, I got you. I got enough spare parts here that we can fix this." And he's like, "Get a hold of me afterwards, and I will get you a new shell piece because it had snapped the pins clean off. I went down on it so hard." Um, and I also had my elbow open, and I was like, "Hey, let me borrow your super glue." And I super glued my elbow and pinched it shut so I didn't have to stop. And he was just like, kind of did one of those when I did it, and he fixed my gun for me
It
and got me
works, but it
going in.
stings like a motherfucker, dude.
It does. It burns,
burns, but
but
it works. It
yep,
works.
and I still have the scar to this day. But what would have been the end of my paintball game, he fixed me up within, I want to say, 20 minutes. I was back on the field, good to go, and then sent me the shell pieces, and I ended up turning those into another A5 because he hooked me up, and I got both halves. So I was like, well, I already have some other parts from the upgrades. I was like, so I built a second A5 out of that, but that
To
he
this, to,
saved my ass that weekend, and I will never forget that.
to this day, the GI Sports, as they're known now, the GI Sports tech guys are fucking
Oh,
phenomenal.
fucking 5-star across the
How
board.
many games I have showed up to? Oh, okay, I went all the way to Fort Wayne, Indiana, to their new facility. Okay, I got a tour while I was there, whatever. But I dropped off a bunch of markers to get teched and looked at. They took care of me. the way you show up at an event, Ion is a prime example. I mean, you've got like Monster Game and stuff like that, but you show up at Ion and you've got a GI Sports product. If you've got a Tippmann product, George Hay is probably taking care of it. But Scotty and them, man, they take care of shit and make it work. They make it work. And it's awesome because you know that, look at that. You buy one of their products and they take care of you. That's something that I've always liked. The bad thing is I
keep the show going. I'll be back in just a second.
Okay. The bad thing is I think I've gone to the dark side of a little bit. The Planet Eclipse products that I've been looking at lately, because Outdoor Extremes is a platinum dealer. Man, I hope Mama's not watching, but damn, I want to get myself a new gun. I've knocked myself way down on my marker count. I put my custom lasered Vanquish today, like literally today. Somebody brought me a 3D printed Mad Frog Militia stand. And someone from Smoke Paintball Team brought me their stand, and I'm like, you know what? This thing's sitting in a bag. Let's set it up. So I put a couple of my trophies up in the pro shop, and I put the Vanquish that CPX had lasered for me from Fight Life. Oh God, it's epic. It's epic. I don't get to play with it anymore. I like playing with my Defender, which leads me to a mag-fed fucking Planet Eclipse gun that thank God I get for cost, but I may be shooting first strikes, shithouse.
I never got into that before.
I never did either,
which is probably a good thing because that would have is expensive.
I'm spoiled, I guess, lately. We got some rentals in. Okay, so here at Outdoor Extremes Charleston, we've got a few Stormers. I've got a great support with everyone at the main office with Brian and Christy and everyone. EMEX. We have been turning this field over to an almost EMEC only rental field.
I love my EMEC.
Dude,
love it.
So the other day we got some of the special Inception Designs EMEX in the upgrade rentals. So for this upgrade rental, there's a cost to upgrade to this marker, but it comes with the upgraded EMEC body, fucking custom. Man, I wish. See, this is
FLE valve with the secret pin.
This is where we're missing Aaron Dill, because I could have sent him all these photos and they could have all been flashing all this gun porn while we're talking. But it's a custom milled body, all custom internals with a Speedster loader on top. All the speedball guys that are here are like, can I have this? I'm like, no, it says rental right on the side of it, man. Simon does some crazy stuff, some really good stuff. So that's another reason why I'm leaning more towards the Planet Eclipse side, because I've had this, as my wife would say, this 7 foot tall, sexy British giant hanging out with us. We had a World Cup. Christy, I love you. Happy birthday. We had Christy's birthday dinner. I didn't have to drive. Thank God. Thank God Brian didn't have to drive. We had a fucking awesome night at a dinner and a show. Simon was right there with us. I feel spoiled. I really feel spoiled lately. I don't know how I ended up in the circle that I'm at, and I love the shit out of it. Anyhow.
Yeah. I love my EMAC. I spent all year playing the last couple years with just my EMAC and my Stealth, both Planet Eclipse products. Technically, a Stealth is a GI branded Planet Eclipse product.
It's a
Loved
it's
those.
yeah. It's a dude.
But
The
what I
amount of
started with,
yeah.
and this is the bad boy that Scott fixed for me, was this monstrosity right here.
Fuck, really? I
Yeah,
don't
this
have
is
I don't have my starter gun. I got rid of it.
I bought it back from my buddy years ago. So this is a Tippmann A5 with a Spec Ops flip up saw stock, which
Dude,
the amount of
Spec
people
Ops
that tried to
tank.
buy this off me was
Spec
nuts.
Spec Ops, the Spec Ops tank. Remember when Spec Ops was a big deal and they had that tank with the rotary
Yep.
turret on it? Okay, I'm
Yep.
sorry I busted in with that, but that tank was like a sandrail with a rotary turret on it, and you could push the pedals and rotate it. And Narf, you got some stuff to live up to. Anyways,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah,
I'm
this
sorry.
this was the monstrosity that I used to carry, and none of it really made sense because at the time I was running uh compressed air through it, but I still had the CO2 expansion chamber just because I liked the way that grip felt.
Yep.
I put the flatline barrel on it. It's everything inside that was plastic that could be swapped out for aluminum was. So this thing was disgustingly loud every time you fired it. But for those that I was telling the story earlier, when I broke off, was this guy right here. This is what feeds into an A5. And there's two little pins underneath here, and those snapped off, and this whole thing came off. So the gun was basically unusable. And Scott, within like 15, 20 minutes, was like, I got you. Threw it all together. And yeah, I bought it from my buddy when he retired from paintball because I sold it to him years in and started upgrading and stuff. And when he was getting out of it, he was nice enough to message me and be like, hey, before I sell this to anybody else. And I was like, 100% whatever you want for it. Just tell me, I'll give you the money today. And I bought it back for basically what I sold it to him for. And it's gonna go in the office right up in that corner above the 3D printer,
All right.
along with my last gun that I now that for those of you that didn't know, I have officially retired after 20 years. My thank you. My stealth is going to go on the wall right underneath it with a little plaque that says, it all starts somewhere. Going from that to that
Started
is
out, Justin and I started out with the little blade plastic pump markers from Walmart up in Lewiston at our little Tykes field. We had like six castles, the little Tyke Playscape castles. So
mm-hmm.
it was really weird. So within a month, all the work I was doing in a certain area, Grosse Pointe Woods. Anyways, every garbage day we drive through and there was a castle or a fucking cabin or a princess castle. So Justin and I built a little Tykes field up north on the property. We had these little Tyke castles, the little Tyke cabins, the little princess castles, and that's where we started playing paintball with these little plastic pump guns. Then we went to the Tippmann 98s. And then I bought myself an A5 because, Justin was still playing with the 98. And then it just snowballed from there. Oh my Lord, did it snowball from there. You buy the E-guns, the Tippmann Axe. Well, I think we bought minis first. Did you ever get into the mini or the axe thing? You never. You had an axe
So
for a little bit.
I didn't have a mini, but I did get an axe when they first came out, and I loved my axe. I ended up having to sell it because I just had a kid, I had bills to pay and stuff like that. Got one later on. I think I got my brown one's a 2.0, but I loved the axe.
So my Defender right now got axe internals. They're just totally in a different direction. I love my Defender, the way it feels and plays. Goddamn. Fuck, I left the batteries in that. Son of a bitch. That really sucks. I'm gonna have to clean some connections. Hopefully I got some good batteries in there, and they may be dead, but the connections are still gonna be clean because this boy hasn't played paintball since April of last year.
Yeah, yeah,
April 14th is the day I hurt my back, shithouse, and I can tell you from that day on, I'm still not straight. I'm
yeah.
not.
That's one of the things that kind of pushed the retirement a couple years ahead of schedule was just because I've gotten we don't get any younger, and I admittedly did kind of a bad job of taking care of myself over the years, and like the back's
What?
starting to be a little bit, the knees starting to be a little bit. But you know what lasts forever? I just realized I never took the battery out of this thing. So it is still blinking red, but this thing
Loving it.
still goes, and it has been
Fucking
sitting there.
Pitman A5. There you go. There you
That
go.
battery, I'll bet, has been in there for close to a decade, and this thing still with the only complaint I ever had about these was their e-grip. In order to turn it on, you had to stick a wrench or something through the front of the grip. That was the only thing that I ever thought they really needed to fix. And what I ended up doing, because I saw back in the day, you go to million forums with paintball mods and stuff like that and tell you how to fix things. And somebody was like, yo, if you get a dowel pin and stick it in there and put a piece of duct tape over it, they were like, you got to be careful that you don't turn it off mid game, but then you can just push it down with your finger and turn it on. And that's what I used to do, because I used to keep a stick in my pocket when I first started so I could actually turn the gun on and off on the field. But yeah,
Yeah.
the fact that it's still going all these years, man, these you could tell were the factory shells because it did not have the Tipman plates or anything put on them yet. They're just plain black. Yeah, this is
Fun
this is
stuff.
my baby for a long time. It's been
Fun.
a long time in the game, you know. I think
So,
when I
the
at
markers
retirement was 20
markers
years.
we started with, you could like gauge them by how many pounds does that thing weigh?
Oh yeah, that thing
Nowadays,
is disgustingly heavy.
yeah. And okay, so everybody was like, "Well, you don't use drop forwards or nothing anymore." A bunch of people that are getting back, and it was like, "No, we don't. We don't have to offset the weight."
Mhm.
Drop forwards to all you kids. Um, the drop forward mounted like before the ASA. The ASAs were never, like totally like combined. So we had this drop forward that came forward and balanced out the weight.
You didn't use them on a Tibbet, but for an example, it would come up off the front here. It would come forward. So rather than the tank being screwed in back here, the tank would basically screw in right here directly under your gun,
So
making
it
it a lot
balanced,
taller, but
but
the
it,
weight wise would be
yeah,
more centralized instead of all of it on the back side.
yeah, and it
And
would
they
just
were everybody made those too, man. You would see them on all the cockers and stuff.
one of the
32
things,
degrees made a bunch
yeah,
of them, and
CP makes a bunch of them.
yep.
Okay, dude. One of the things that we inherited taking over from Paintball Charleston was, holy cow, the barrel inventory and the CP products inventory here. There's just some stuff that just is, we've downsized it in the display case to prioritize other stuff, but holy cow, the CP barrel backs for A5s
Oh,
and
back in the day, everybody made
ooh,
barrels and barrel back kits. I was just going through some of Anthony's stuff because there's when City goes to Legends this year, I think I'm going to be giving away a bunch of stuff. And he had a Hammerhead kit. I don't know if you remember the Hammerhead kits.
yeah.
Yeah, where they would do a very, very small barrel back. I want to say it's like 2-3 inches maybe. That would be their sizer, and then you would put whatever barrel on it, and then their barrel tip. And it was nice because they you can make your marker look more on the little more real life, little more mil spec than some of the kits. Now it's wild colors and everything else. I think I was using an HK laser kit this season.
You know what though? I've got one of the old Simon, the fucking Inception Designs barrel kits with the fucking core drill fucking front end. Like if I ran into somebody, I'm hurting them.
Oh yeah, yeah. Back in the day, there were so many little companies that were like, we're not going to try to make guns, we're not going to try to make tanks. Somebody's way better at that than us, but they were like, we will make all the weird little shit that you never think of, that like little tiny upgrades. Like I said, inside that A5 thing, a lot of places used to be like, hey, we'll take all the plastic parts and we'll just make them out of aluminum so they last forever.
Yeah.
Gun didn't always operate exactly the way it should because it wasn't designed around, an aluminum part, and so they would be disgustingly loud. Just everything just ching 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 every time you fired.
What was it? Dushku tip or something like that?
The Dishka tip, yeah, the Loudner. They I got yelled at Lone Wolf before because I had one on the tip of a Tip-X, and it sounded like somebody firing a Colt Python in there. It was so loud, and all it really was is a cone tip that is just its only purpose is to make the gun louder. That's all it was for.
Yep.
And yeah, places would make stuff like that. The amount of wild, weird. Every once in a while, when you go to a paintball event, especially if you go to a place that's having like a paintball swap meet or something, you'll see some guy with some shitty table off in the corner, doesn't have a bunch of banners or something, and he'll have a table. Check it out, because he'll have probably a table and at least a tote or two of some weird, wild shit that would go on, like the old school stuff, especially Tippmann guns. Everybody made
some crazy stuff. I mean, the rotary trigger setup, so you could put you could do one. Oh, wait a minute. We can put two A5s next to each other.
Yep,
and
double trouble. Yeah, spinner kits. I remember those. Yeah, so every time you would turn it was basically I've seen people put them on an AR-15, but it's like a little crank lever, and every time you spun the crank, I want to say it hit the trigger like 3 or 4 times. So you just go like this, and all of a sudden your gun was just ripping.
I'm surprised we don't see more of those with the 3D printing world coming out within the paintball industry. Because, I mean, like I said, I got a really cool Mad Frog 3D printed gun stand and put the Mad Frog gun up on the shelf in the pro shop. But I'm surprised we don't see more of those setups. I mean, I guess maybe it's got to be stronger for the 3D print.
You got to do ABS if you want it to survive, and ABS is much harder to print than regular materials. So I tried ABS one. You have to have like an enclosure and a tent setup because you got to maintain a crazy high bed temperature as well as a immediate temperature around the print. And ABS is difficult.
At a certain point, it's just like, okay, fuck it.
Yeah, it'd be almost easier if you to have a shop or something with some injection molding versus trying to do
or sit there with an old mill.
Anything complicated. It had to be the simplest of the simple. I remember when George made us those feet for the canopies, the replacement feet, and he still said he's like, yeah, I had a bunch of them fail, and it was a flat foot for our pop-up canopies because we had a bunch of them break.
And they didn't last that fucking long either.
It's hard.
It got cold and you whacked them sideways a little funny, and they're messed up. What does it? Scotty say he worked on a quad crank. Oof. So okay, what about Scotty? Did you ever work on the Hellhound? Because goddamn, that Gatling gun on that thing was cool, but
I gotta imagine once paint broke in that barrel, it was.
You know what though? That's the thing is, so you got the Hellhound coming out on the field, and the only way to stop it from wasting you was to shoot the gun.
Yeah.
So the gun ended up covered in paint and didn't work right. So they, when they got a hold of it, who ended up? Why I'm blitzing on the last name. They still have it. When they got a hold of it, it was a lot of work to get that Gatling gun working again. But god damn, the Hellhound was always the coolest thing.
God, they were on our team for a hot minute.
What the heck?
It was Campbell, maybe?
No,
That doesn't sound right.
they ended up on the Ducks. Overfield.
Overfield, yes.
Thank
Elizabeth
you,
and
Lisa. Our team tags representative on the show this evening, Lisa Weber. I'm sorry, Lisa Weber. I miss Catan with you, dear.
yeah,
as Scotty's saying, Dave brought it to Fort Wayne to get fixed up because it was a mess. It was a mess, but some fun was definitely had with the Hellhound. Holy cow! I am feeling no pain right at the moment. Thank God. Shelly is probably already crashed out because I drove her nuts all day. My swamp water is running low. Lovely stuff. Jameson and Mountain Dew. Anyhow, what are you drinking? Diet Coke tonight, shithouse? You drinking all the chemicals?
So I'm going a little easy on it. For those who don't know, I turned 40 in like little over 24 hours.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to take it easy this weekend because typically on my birthday every year, I will do my birthday live stream. I still got to figure it out this year because I caught a small 30-day ban on Facebook from going live over the dumbest comment in a group that was littered with those comments, and I made like the same thing. Like I kind of joked to somebody, I was like, "Hey, we're at this festival, like you could just trade drugs for that." 50th time a person mentioned drugs, and all of a sudden they were like, "Oh, you can't say that. You get a 30-day ban." So I might be going live from Cindy's. But usually, what happens every year on my birthday is I do a Facebook live stream where I get absolutely shit hammered. I mean, there is a puke bucket sponsor every year.
The puke bucket is close.
Yeah, because because it ends up getting used. I think one year I didn't use it, and because I got so belligerently blackout drunk, I was passing out before I got to the point of needing to throw up. This year, because I couldn't think, I was like, well, I can't do 40 beers in a live stream. I was like, I would have to do an all-day live stream, and even then, I'm like, I don't think my body at this age is. There's no way. And one of the new kid at my work was like, why don't you just do Edward 40 hands for your 40th? And I was like, buddy, you're brilliant. So we will be doing Edward 40 hands. For those of you who have never played that game, you duct tape 40 ounces to your hands, so you can't really use them, and you have to drink to be able to use your hands. So we'll be doing those somewhere here on live. It'll be either on my page or on the Weiss page, depending on how I can make it work out, where you can come in and join me for my 40th birthday live. I do two live events a year, which is my birthday and then the annual airing of grievances, which happens on December 21st every year. That is another time when I typically get wrecked, but I go a little bit easier on that one. The birthday one gets a little nuts. We're going to see what happens this year because I have to work the next day. And I told my boss is like, oh, there's no way you're coming. I was like, oh, I'm like, I might be useless and get nothing done, but I'll be there so you can pay me. So yeah, but that'll be Tuesday evening. Typically I start that at about 7 p.m. because that gives me a little bit of time to get it in there, So yeah, it should be a good time.
The liver is screaming right now.
It's gonna be something. We're gonna get there one way or another. So
fun stuff. Fun stuff. Oh, excuse me. Well, I've had a wonderful evening chatting with you, sir. I'm willing to keep going if you want to. I still have a little bit left, but not much. But we have definitely met the hour and a half mark of our
Oh
show.
shit, we have already.
Yeah, and I want to thank everybody for joining us because god damn, you got a lot better stuff to listen to than us and this shit show that we have going on.
What is wild is we started this podcast back when the show's gonna keep going. This is my last show.
Yeah.
But
Why is it your last show though?
because I'm trying to, because I
Hold
know
on.
if I don't separate myself from enough of the paintball, I'm gonna try to push it. And
Doesn't
if I
mean
try
that
to
you don't
push
have
it,
to come back on later sometime just
I
to
mean I
bullshit.
do. Looking
We can
up
just
at the corner
bullshit.
of the screen, seeing episode 195 does make me kind of go, you should show up for the 200th episode spectacular. Because I assume you're gonna do a 200th episode spectacular.
That
Because
would be
we did a 100th episode spectacular.
yes. I would love to have you on for that. We're working, man. You got behind the scenes. I've got so much going on between what we've got going on at the field with Outdoor Extremes Charleston and getting the airsoft stuff together, and which is been a cool experience. But that and building the fields here and everything else, we've got some cool stuff coming up. I think we signed I've got like 6 more players from the South Carolina area, that South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia area, that I'm hoping to have out at our next scenario event here, which is in February, which will be the first really scenario event happening here since we've taken over. Horrors of Lavinia Fisher, the first female serial killer. So Urban Legends here in February. Looking forward to it. Besides that, Aaron and I have got like all kinds of crazy, stupid stuff going on. Hopefully we can get together. We've got a little bit too much going on to where we need to make I don't know what the word is, but make some type of deal from the chaos. So look forward to a lot more stuff coming out from Mad Frog Militia. I am, yeah, like I said, I'm enjoying myself this evening so far. I'm sure it has a little bit to do with the Jameson, but it also has to do with the company. So thank you everyone for joining us.
Gotta love that swamp water too. I miss those a little bit. The with the diabetes, I gotta really stay away from the brown liquor because it will trigger a little nappy poo. I figured that out like the hard way. The doctor, because I went to him one day and I was like, I know I'm not supposed to drink certain things and eat certain things being diabetic and on the pills and stuff, but I told him, I was like, every once in a while when I'm drinking, I'm like, I've noticed now that I'll be fine, and all of a sudden I'll blink and it's 4 hours later, and it's not that I blacked out from like drinking too much, because I've done that enough times back in my day. But I'm like, it's like all of a sudden the lights go out and then just come back on, but it's hours and I've lost a chunk of time. And he was like, what are you drinking? I was like, it only happens every once in a while. He's like, you drinking whiskey? And I go, yeah. And he goes, that's why. So apparently what whiskey does to a diabetic is it just sends your sugar basically straight up. It peaks, then your body goes, oh no, that shouldn't be doing this. It goes, and just to say that the spike is violently up and then down.
Add a little bit of Mountain Dew in on that too.
Yeah, I mean, I usually did mine with Diet Dew, but enough, because you go, when you're drinking swamp water, you go through enough of the whiskey, because you don't really taste it anymore. So you 4 or 5 swamp waters, like, oh cool. It's like, oh, also that was like 10 shots of whiskey in a 3-hour period, and yeah, it would basically skyrocket the sugar, dump it off in order, because
So
my body's trying to save itself.
That's why Fun Shithouse came out. Oh,
and what my body was doing is shutting off in order to in theory, saved my life. And he's like, yeah, you really shouldn't touch any brown liquor at all anymore. Thankfully, I learned that Coors Light regulates the blood sugar.
That weird as
Shout out to Coors
fuck.
Light.
That is
But
weird
yeah,
as fuck, man. That is just like, yeah.
that's why,
Dude,
like, Lisa happened to mention the 4-hour live that I did the one year. How I survived that and didn't pass out drooling in the chair because I was doing whiskey, tequila, did a whole bottle of champagne. I think I had like 8 or 9 beers. Like that was a one for the books. And I remember at the time telling my girlfriend at the time, she was like, "How long are you gonna do this?" I was like, hour and a half, absolute tops. I can't hit. I remember at one point like drooling and looking down, and I was 4 hours into a live stream, and I was like, "Oh shit!" That was. I wish. I don't think it still exists on Facebook anymore because I think they pull them after so long. But that was a show. That was a show. That was
it,
wild. I got introspective at one point. I think I remember crying on the live at one point. Yeah,
it
it was.
was interesting. It was a good old time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
like Lisa says here. Lisa says here, crying at the end.
yep, yeah, doing the barrel roll. One of the guys that I used to work with kept telling me, "Do a barrel, do." So I was like, "Fine." So I started barrel rolling across the floor, and I was, yeah, that was a time. That
And
was
and
that was
they
a time.
say marijuana's bad for you.
Yeah,
You know,
right. Like all that does is make me laugh.
or eat or go to sleep.
Oh yeah,
Laugh,
eat,
eat,
eat for
go to
sure.
sleep.
Yeah.
Done. Everybody's safe. Um, you talked about Pee Wee Herman. Wait a minute. Is Pee Wee Herman why he started crying?
No, I want to say something got brought up about like I started
Oh,
talking about my dad or something.
we
I
don't
don't
need to
remember what it was.
we don't yeah, okay, we don't need to go into all whatever happened. We don't need to get
But
into it.
yeah, well, I remember we did talk about Pee Wee back in the because Pee Wee was a hero of mine as a kid. That was yeah.
Tequila. Goddamn, he was fucking awesome. He did a bunch of shit.
I don't remember
Anyway,
where we were not that long ago, but there was a cherry, and I said something to Cindy. I was like, "Oh, it's cherry," and she's like, what's cherry?" And I was like, "Cherry the chair," and she's like, "I don't know what that is," because
I
there is
make
a small
so
age gap between me and my wife. But I was
I
like,
make
"Fuck."
shit house. I make so many comments in the pro shop, and they all look at me like, "What?" So everyone here is really polite. They all respect what's going on, and they call Mister and Miss or Ma'am, and you guess what I'm called all the time,
Do you get
Mister
Deal
Bill. I
Mr.
get
Bill?
Mister Bill all the damn
Nice.
time, and I'm like, guys, you got to stop calling me this. I appreciate it. I understand where it's coming from, but you have to understand that I don't want to hear Mr. Bill. I thank you. Thank you for the respect. I love you because that you tell me Mr. Bill and I'm looking for pizza face.
Sluggo. Yeah, like it's my mom still has a Mr. Bill doll that hangs on her rocking chair in
Oh
her house.
no
I
way.
remember I got
No
introduced
way.
to that. This is another thing that dates me a little bit. Back in the day, uh, we would get bootleg videotapes from this guy that my dad worked with. He would basically rent. He had two VCRs that you'd set up, so you'd basically start one as a record, play on one, and he would just make bootleg videos for it. And he was like a video store. He had like 3 rooms in his house that were just videotapes. And every time he would put everything Ernest ever did on VHS for me. And
Ernest,
he would,
dude, we've been watching
you
those
know,
lately like crazy. Like Halloween came about, and we've been watching them like crazy. Okay, I gotta run away. I gotta
yeah.
run.
And he would ever at the beginning of every Ernest VHS, he would put a Mr. Bill cartoon on there, which used to come from Saturday Night Live. It was a claymation thing, and it was just this poor claymation guy that would always get smashed and crushed. It was very, very dumb thing, but it was funny and right on par with that. And yeah, I haven't seen those in years. The young kids now wouldn't have any idea, back in the heyday of Saturday Night Live when they used to do all the cartoons, all the Robert Smigel cartoons, the ambiguously gay duo, and they would
Ambiguously
do.
gay duo.
Yep. Those were so funny. I don't think they could get away with those nowadays.
Oh God, there's so much stuff we couldn't get away with, So I saw something. I saw a commercial. So Fear Factor. Fear Factor is one of those games that I don't think could come back. But then I saw Johnny Knoxville posting Fear Factor or
Oh,
host.
maybe they're bringing it back.
So I don't know if it's something that actually happened or not. But goddamn, the Oh No, Mr. Bill stuff. I have a book with a record, but I wish I could pull it all up fast enough so that you guys could see a little skit with it. But it was almost like born from the Pokey,
Oh,
and
Gumby and stuff.
Gumby and
Yeah.
Pokey and stuff. It was kind of like that claymation, but like really campy and just oh my
Yeah,
god.
it would just be basically like a live action thing. They would stick this doll made out of clay named Mr. Bill in the corner, and they would just basically do, like, his mouth wouldn't even move. They would show him on camera and somebody be speaking into a microphone for him. And yeah, he would just always get smashed or crushed or injured in
Oh no!
some way. Yeah.
It was
And
basically every cartoon was seeing how you could smash him, and it was either Sluggo or Pizza Face.
yeah. Yep.
We're gonna have to
That
do
would be
something
good
with
stuff.
that. We're gonna have to do something with that. Anyways, let's see what else the hell we got going. Man, there's life. There's so much going on. So who the
I
fuck?
mean, I don't got any games coming up, obviously. But what do you got coming up, Bill?
Shit. Was invited to Wayne's World grand finale. So that's coming up here in God, is it December or January? Um, so that's going to be happening. That was kind of nice getting invited. Then we have Super Game, Florida coming up. So that'll be, I think, the real first is Wayne. Oh, man, I don't know if Wayne Dulloch's game is before the first or after the first. So that's that, and then Super Game Florida, and then we roll into Lavina Fisher in February, and North versus South, and man, yeah, we got all kinds of fun stuff going on. I hope to be checking out some of the games here in the area too. I want to head up to Nate and Eric's field up there in Black Ops, and
Now, Lavina Fisher, that's a CPX. Is it
yes,
like a legend? Is it not
urban.
technically a Legends?
It's a CPX game. It's Urban Legends. It's one of the Urban Legends games. So one of the things that Brian was talking to me about back in the day was Urban Legends and trying to do these different games at different fields, and taking on something from the area. So Skyline Paintball, North versus South, Civil War stuff, definitely prominent in the area. So that will be going on again this year at Skyline Paintball. Awesome venue. Camping is available. I have to work on the camping here. So looking forward to that one. But here I had the option to do Charleston Urban Legends. What are you going to do? Pirates? Yeah, pirates are popular here. Lot of pirate stuff here, or ghosts. So I kind of went like, hey, can we please do? I pushed it. Christy came up with an awesome storyline with all of the stuff I fed her, and really the game is all written out. I have a few props I have to finish, which they're really cool and some fun stuff. But the whole ghost story thing, and one of the things I grabbed a hold of right away with the ghost story was the first female serial killer, the first documented female serial killer, American female serial killer, I should say. Um, and the way the storyline worked out with robbers and houses with supposed secret levels, and her last words were, "If you have anything you want to tell the devil, let me know."
That's so
Before they hung,
awesome.
before they hung her. Supposedly, she was an attractive woman. I mean, that's one of the things she used to do what she did. Um, One cop car, quiet, lights on, normally driving down. So we didn't hear the wee woos, but I did see one tonight, boys and girls. So yeah, so Christy has managed to put together a nice storyline involving some of the stuff with the history and you know the different things that happened. The road that's traveled and a bunch of different stuff. So I'm really looking forward to it. Yes, I still have up until World Cup, it was always, oh well, as soon as World Cup's over, as soon as World Cup's over, as soon as well, guess what? World Cup is over. And I've been busting my butt so far, and I've got a lot more to do to get it's totally doable. I just can't get lazy. And we're going to have some really good play here in February at Lavina Urban Legends, the horror of Lavinia Fisher, which is available. I could pop up a QR code probably real fast, but I'm not even going to try to find the button. cpxevents.com, and you guys can check out the different registrations we've got going on, which is, if I'm not mistaken, there's a Black Friday sale going on with the events as well. Check out the cpxevents.com page, and you'll learn what's happening. Whew.
All right.
That last little bit of swamp water went down way fast, so it's probably getting close to time to go to bed.
I was just gonna say, yeah, I gotta be up super early. The wife's taking me tomorrow for some pre-birthday. We're doing something, so I gotta get into work early so I can get out early.
Good deal.
I don't know what we're doing, but I'm pumped. So we're going somewhere.
I'm doing something. Damn it.
Yeah, I've been trying to go hard for the 40th year. So like I did karaoke for the first time this year. A little pissed off when I learned out how much I love it.
Dude, we didn't even talk about Skankfest.
Yeah, Skankfest was fuck.
The pictures and stuff that you were sending looks like you had a good old time. You ended up on stage?
Yeah, I competed in a contest to direct a scene between Alexis Fox and Penny Pax. And you were going to be.
Wait a minute. You didn't get a picture with Penny?
I did not get a picture with Penny.
Love that redhead. Oh my god!
But you were also going to be directing the scene with Troy Duffy, who was the director of Boondock Saints movies. So I got to meet him, and yeah, that was a wild little thing I got to participate in. I did not win, but it was a good time. That weekend was. I mean, you can still hear it in my voice. I got the Skankfest flu coming back. A lot of people caught like COVID or something. I had some upper respiratory thing that's about gone now, but it kind of hit me after I got back. But it was so fucking worth it. We stayed. I happened to, when we set up the tickets and everything, I got the hotel early because I was like, I want to get it as early as possible, and then ended up switching some stuff around at the last second. So I got our rooms for like half the price of initially I was supposed to get them, but I happened to be staying at the hotel that all the comedians were staying at. So every morning when I went down for breakfast, I was having breakfast with all of those guys, having coffee with them, hanging out with them. And yeah, it was definitely the coolest event I've ever been to in my life, minus the birth of my kids and weddings. But like outside of that stuff, yeah, it was friggin' amazing.
Looked like it was fun. Looked like it was fun.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was 5 days of hard partying for me, which caught up to me very quickly. But 100%, I told my brother, I was like, you just pretty much count me in for every year here forward. A little bummed out that I missed prior years. But yeah, it was insane. It was absolutely insane. Uh, and a lot of those guys, some of those comedians party way harder than I would think. Yes, it's watching Shane Gillis go through like, come out and do a set after having like 20 beers is insane because he's still good to go, but you can tell he's hammered. And yeah, it was Brad Williams, absolutely hilarious. Couldn't have been a nicer dude. All those guys. There was only one comedian who was kind of a dick, and everybody joked about it ahead of time. Was Hinchcliffe, didn't want to take photos with anybody, but everybody else was like, "Yeah, let's take photos, let's party." Also, you want to hit this joint with me? Like yeah, it was a very good time, and it sounds like they're gonna bring it back to New Orleans again, at least for one more year. They talked about wanting to do it in either like Cancun, Mexico, or I want to say it was like Puerto Rico at one point, which I'm like, you absolutely could, and it would be sweet, and I will spend whatever I have to do to go do it. But then a lot of your fans getting them out of the country to another, like that gets a whole nother expense and everything.
Puerto Rico wouldn't be bad, but
Wouldn't be too bad.
No, the
And
expense would be,
arguably Cancun is like cheaper, but
yeah,
you're gonna be at the resort
it
the whole time, so it's gonna be, if
technically,
you could do all inclusive while you're there, oh, that would be the way to go.
if I'm in Puerto Rico, I'm in America.
Yeah,
If I'm in
but I think they're
Mexico,
gonna
I'm in
do.
goddamn knows what the fuck the hell is going on.
I think they're gonna do at least one more year in New Orleans before they explore something else.
Never
And yeah,
really, never really spent any time in New Orleans. Drove through it a couple times in the bus. One time on surface streets, the other time on the expressway. But it definitely looks like it could be some fun. But you know what? That's not Skankfest. It'd definitely be something that I could have some fun with. Just Mardi Gras. I don't think that's my thing.
I went down Bourbon Street the one night. I was like, this is nothing special. I mean, it wasn't, titty bean night, but it was, I was like, this is, I don't know. I always, because anytime I'd see it would be on like cops and they'd just be arresting people left and right.
Yeah.
Bourbon Street was okay. Skankfest was awesome.
Definitely looked like it was some fun. Definitely did. Well, I guess we're going to call it an evening here. We'll leave it at a high point. Everyone, thank you for joining us.
Absolutely.
I know you had a lot better things to do than to listen to us talk. With that being said, I'm going to say good evening, shithouse. And let's see if I'm going to push this. Wait, hold on a second. Let's check this out. What does this do? Oh,
hey, there we go.
Super game. Check them out. Florida, Oregon, Maryland. Woohoo! Good times. All right. With that being said, I think, okay, come on. Switch. Is it there? Oh, it's Win. All right. With that being said, I think this is the outro, and I don't know how we disappear with this outro, so I'll have to figure that out. Everybody take it easy. Thank you very much for joining us.
Deuces.
I need to get a Jameson sponsorship for this show. All right. Everybody take it easy. Good night.